Smederevo, the capital of the Serbian medieval state, the crossroads of important water and land roads, the city of wine, powerful industry, and numerous cultural events. Little is known and yet sufficiently researched that Serbia had two more important rulers after the Battle of Kosovo. One of them was Đurađ Branković, who built the fortified city of Smederevo. The city of Despot Đurađ was built on the model of Constantinople, with a geometric structure consisting of two irregular triangles. It was built in 11 years. The walls are 4 meters thick and 10 meters high. They had 25 towers to defend against cold steel. Built at the confluence of the river Jezava and the Danube, the ramparts of the great despot's city were well protected by water from enemy attacks. The small town served as a fortified castle, which included the court of the despot Đurađ. In that period, Smederevo became the most important economic and cultural center of the Despotate of Serbia. For centuries, the fortress has withstood the ravages of time and destruction, but it has remained a symbol of impermeability. Today, the situation is similar. By renovating the fortress itself and with a handful of cultural events within the walls of the medieval city, the local government encourages all cultural, sports and other events which are held in small and large city. Smederevo is characterized by a perfect geostrategic position. The fact that it is located on the very bank of the second largest river in Europe speaks enough in favor of that. Significant international roads, waterways and railways connect Smederevo with other cities in Serbia and Europe. Fertile valleys and low hills create perfect conditions for different types of agricultural production. The plain between the rivers Velika Morava and Danube are suitable for field and livestock production, while the slopes of the hilly Šumadija reach the surrounding villages and provide suitable conditions for growing fruit and vines, for which this area is widely known. Among the most attractive cultural monuments is the Villa Zlatni Breg, which used to be the summer residence of the Obrenović dynasty. Built on a hill with an unforgettable view of the Danube, this symbol of court culture makes the fertile land on which there are endless vineyards and shady forests of linden, chestnut and conifer even more luxurious. The summer house was built by Prince Mihailo Obrenović on his father's estate in 1865, and he arranged the park with special care. The final look of the villa was given by Queen Natalia after the reconstruction in 1897, and the spiritual flourishing happened during the reign of her son, Aleksandar Obrenović. During the years that followed, the villa in Smederevo became one of the most important meeting places of the Serbian cultural elite, but also a place of important state decisions. After the Second World War, the villa became state property, and only in 2014 it became available to visitors. The interior of the villa is a permanent display of valuable exhibits of the History Museum and the Museum of Applied Arts in Belgrade. What makes this area special is the cultivation of the wine, which dates back to Roman times, and the despot Đurađ Branković was also known for his quality wines. When Duke Miloš built a boarding house with a wine cellar, he became one of the greatest wine growers in history. His son Duke Mihailo went a step further and restored his father's vineyards and raised the grape harvest to the level of a festival. Grapes from the Duke's, then the King's vineyard, will become a model for Smederevo wine growers, from which the idea of exhibitions of grapes will be born at the end of the 19th century, which today have a new look in the touristic and economic event Smederevska Jesen. An unavoidable place in Smederevo is the main town square, which was built in the first half of the 19th century on the site of the Great Market. The central place on the triangular square is occupied by a cultural monument, the Church of St. George. Around the square there are cultural and historical buildings of great importance. The monument to the fallen soldiers in the First World War, the building of the district administration, today's district court, the building of the old municipal house, and the city gallery of contemporary art. The Church of the Holy Great Martyr George, built in the middle of the 19th century, is a cultural asset of our city. It was performed as the first reminiscence of a Serbian medieval monument, the Church of the Holy Trinity of the Manasija Monastery, and is one of the largest temples of the 19th century in Serbia. The temple is made of white marble, stylistically shaped in the Serbian Byzantine spirit. It is basically developed inscribed cross with 5 domes, and the vault of the church holds 6 Baroque pillars. The exterior is dominated by a Baroque bell tower, which, like the facade, is under reconstruction this year. 22 cultural and artistic societies are registered on the territory of the city of Smederevo. Members of all ensembles are dedicated to preserving traditional values through song and dance. The societies function as a team, exchanging folk costumes and experiences. Their work is reflected in a large number of performances in Smederevo, Serbia, but also outside the borders of our country. Every summer, a cultural event called Kulturno Leto is held at several locations in the city, during which all cultural and artistic societies are presented. It is an opportunity for members of all ages to show their skills. During August 2020, the construction of an athletic track with a tartan base was completed within the walls of the Smederevo fortress. The construction itself was carried out in several phases, and the result is a unique athletic facility that is attractive for the organization of international and domestic competitions. The fact that the President of the Republic of Serbia, Mr. Aleksandar Vučić, was present at the opening of the athletic path speaks of its importance. This year, the city of Smederevo hosted the Balkan Athletics Championships. A large number of athletes from our country and the surrounding countries showed interest in this event, and our city made an effort to bring beautiful memories from the city on the banks of the Danube, in addition to winning medals. We also think of our oldest fellow citizens. The Smederevo Home for the Elderly officially started operating in 1947 on a location where it is still located, in a quiet and climate-protected part of Smederevo. In this area, there are 3 separate but functionally connected accommodation facilities, as well as an office building. The rest is a partially forested green area, with the accompanying contents of the park, ideal for the rest of the users. By renovating the accommodation capacities, as well as the kitchen and restaurant part, it makes the stay even more comfortable, and in addition to the inpatient service, the home also has its doctor, physiotherapist, large number of medical staff, as well as legal support and a safe and pleasant environment for home users. We did not forget about the youngest. The preschool institution Naša Radost in Smederevo has 9 kindergartens in the city. Kindergartens have a strong cooperation with primary schools, because preparatory groups are often in the space of individual schools, which gives the preschool program a better quality. We are also actively working on the replacement of old furniture. By purchasing new cots, tables and cabinets, we increase the quality of children's stay in this institution. We invest in pellet boilers, and thus we influence the preservation of the environment, reduce costs, but also a more pleasant stay for our youngest. By building a new and renovating existing children's playgrounds, such as this one in Dunav Park, we hope to create even better living conditions in our community and enable children to realize unforgettable memories of growing up days with laughter, joy and play. Smederevska Gimnazija High School is one of the most beautiful buildings built at the beginning of the 20th century in Smederevo. The high school was founded in 1871, but the building was built in 1904 on the property of the great benefactor Dino Mančić, who bequeathed his property for the construction of the school. In the central part of the building, which stylistically belongs to the Neo-Renaissance and Classicism, there are pillars and 2 human figures at the top of the building. After several decades, a comprehensive reconstruction and rehabilitation of the building of the Smederevska Gimnazija High School was carried out. The reconstruction included reconstruction of the facade, replacement of carpentry and installations, damaged floors, replacement of the boiler, arrangement on the roof, toilets, gym, courtyard, ceremonial hall and classrooms. The performed works have greatly improved the working conditions, especially during the winter months. A unique atrium with grandstands was built in the yard. Thanks to the local government, the school is also equipped with new furniture, which completes the renovation plan. In the immediate vicinity of the city center, there is a city swimming pool that operates within the Smederevo Sports Center, which also includes a tennis balloon, a gym, a martial arts and table tennis halls. The pool was completely reconstructed last year and meets all FIDA standards. There are seats for 7,000 spectators in the stands. In addition to the Olympic pool, there are also two smaller pools intended for the youngest and non-swimmers. With the reconstruction of the freight railway in Smederevo, this part of Serbia is becoming a significant hub of railway traffic that connects the port and the industrial zone. In addition, the reconstruction includes a new station building and the relocation of the railway far from the Smederevo fortress. The Port of Smederevo consists of two parts, Old and New Port. Both units are fully equipped plants that the ironworks and all users of the industrial park use for unloading raw materials delivered by the Danube, but also for loading barges for river transport of products. A warehouse of 420 square meters is covered and is within Old Port. The New Port is located in the industrial zone of Smederevo, next to the Belgrade-Niš highway. The plan is to expand the capacity of New Port due to the growing needs of production, and the works should include the access road, port infrastructure and communal equipment. Smederevo Industrial Park is a project that aims to attract more investments and increase employment of the local population, but also to provide the best possible working conditions for businesses. It covers an area of 900 hectares, where 280 is under functional buildings, while the ironworks zone covers about 300 hectares. The accessibility of the main road and railway roads, the port on the Danube, as the northernmost port to which ships from the Black Sea arrive, makes Smederevo a regional logistics center. In addition to the ironworks, which has long been the backbone of the city's economic development and one of the largest exporters in the Republic of Serbia, the Smederevo Industrial Park gives the city a development opportunity as well as the possibility of employing a large number of young people. One of the leading companies specialized for the production of cable harnesses for the commercial vehicle industry, especially for heavy and medium-heavy trucks, is the PKC wiring system, which currently employs around 4,000 people. In addition to this, we will also mention Metek, which manufactures metalworking machines and employs over 400 workers. Kaizen, in the field of textile industry, has over 300 employees. Schwingstätte, construction machinery factory. Majakawa, specialized for the production of industrial refrigeration equipment. Kefer, production of gears for the automotive industry. Profiweld, metal machining, as well as series of other companies. By investing in the construction of infrastructure, LED lighting was implemented, as well as systems for video surveillance and fire protection of the substation, which made the industrial park an even more attractive location for current and future users, and Smederevo as a city that cares for its citizens, keep people and provide them with employment in different areas. It can be said that it is succeeding in that for now, because the arrival of new companies provides the possibility of employment and thus the determination of young people to start families and stay here. Safety at work, job security, the possibility of advancement and career development are just part of the offer that the city of Smederevo provides as a part of a friendly business environment. One of the most famous brands of the city of Smederevo is the economic and touristic event Smederevska Jesen, which is held every September in honor of grapes and wine. Through the realization of this project, the city of Smederevo affirms economic potentials, fruit and vineyard products, traditional values with an exhibition in the wine city, but also cultural contents through the realization of numerous workshops, performances, concerts and sports competitions. The prestigious theatre festival Nušićevi Dani is realized every April in Smederevo and gathers admirers of theatre art. During the festival, there are theatre performances, scientific gatherings, tribunes, exhibitions, children's programs, all dedicated and organized to the greatest Serbian comedian. In addition to this festival, Smederevo is the host of the film festival Dunav Film Fest, which is organized every summer in the small town of the Smederevo fortress and which has a noble impact on the life of Smederevo. The peculiarity of this festival is its ambient character, thanks to the enchanting space of the medieval city of Despot Đurađ Branković. Speaking of the fortress, we must not forget about the days of the knights, which in a subtle but very realistic way show the medieval way of life of Serbian heroes. Knights in shining armors, swords, shields, maces are just an announcement of the tournaments of courage that are happening in those days. Smederevo is a perfect place to live, start a family, a city where so much is available. A city with huge economic and touristic potential, in which the local government is a worthy partner in every respect. Smederevo is our city.